Cold War, dark or colder CIA, from media manipulation, propaganda, and brainwashing to extortion, bribery, all manner of corruption, even delving into adult entertainment, fomenting instability or coups in other countries, attempting to assassinate the presidents of other countries. The CIA's post-World War II activities were a masterclass in psychological warfare. Welcome to part 3 of my series on the CIA and OSS PSYOP and propaganda from World War II to present. In this post and the next several upcoming, I'm merely going to touch upon several nefarious scenarios of activity that we know are attributable to the CIA post-World War II globally. But before I do all that, I want to read 2 quotes, one from Edward Bernays and one from H.L. Mencken. Edward Bernays said, "The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country." Now, H.L. Mencken said, "The whole aim of practical politics is to keep the masses confused and thus led to safety by endlessly menacing it with an endless series of hobgoblins, all of them illusions." Before I get into my actual program here, I want to touch upon the craziness that we're all enduring currently. We've just seen a presidential candidate have an assassination attempt on his life. And what's really terrifying is the kid is like in his 20s, no signs of radicalization, no apparent motive. This guy just waltzed on in there wearing camouflage clothing, somehow, somewhere, in possession of an AR-15 rifle. And people, there's multiple videos from multiple people in multiple angles where they've got this guy on the roof on video. And people had seen him probably prior. And you wonder if somebody came up to him and said, "Is that an AR-15 in your pocket, or are you just excited to see me?" How does a kid walk in like that with an AR-15, or how does he stash an AR-15? How does he get up on the roof where the Secret Service always has the high ground in these cases? And now you have a Secret Service administrator or director trying to refute all of this. We have 2 presidential candidates. One is in office and is a career politician linked to the mafia, multimillionaire. The other is a multi-billionaire and a businessman linked to the mafia. At least he wasn't a career politician. We have 2 former special forces types that are pretty consistently on social media. Tim Kennedy, who makes frequent appearances on Joe Rogan, and Sean Ryan, who has his own program basically. They're both telling us that there's going to be a terrorist attack in the United States. It's imminent. And in their capacity with special forces operations in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere, they've certainly worked with intelligence. And at that level of intelligence and operations on the ground, it goes hand in hand with psychological warfare or PSYOP, or psychological operations or PSYOP. And I want to say something about American wealth real quick. The United States has approximately 25% of the world's billionaires and approximately 35% of the world's millionaires. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, George Soros, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the Koch brothers, and many others could buy 10 Donald Trumps. How is this one man such a threat? I want you to keep all that in mind. Keep in mind the saying of Edward Bernays, or what Edward Bernays said, and what H.L. Mencken said in the back of your mind as we continue to go through this series on CIA PSYOP. Throughout the Cold War, the CIA actively used covert propaganda campaigns to combat Soviet influence and advance U.S. interests. Programs like Operation Mockingbird saw the agency funding and manipulating foreign media outlets, promoting anti-communist narratives, and even staging fake news events. This period was also marked by the creation of cultural organizations like Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, designed to broadcast pro-Western messages behind the Iron Curtain. Cold War era CIA Director Alan Dulles and lead staff frequently dined with Council on Foreign Relations or CFR-linked ruling class journalists from coast to coast. From approximately 1950 to 1975, at least 400 American journalists actually carried out assignments from the CIA according to CIA records.